The essence of customer relationships is building trust, really understanding what our customers need and want. That understanding is going to enable us to put in the kind of services that they need, that they can use, and that builds trust over time. And trust really leads to opportunities to strengthen that relationship. You go from strength to strength when you get that process started, but it begins by really understanding who are they, what do they want, how can we best serve them. When we work with clients to improve their customer relationships, the first thing we look at is who are their customers and what are the services, what are the things we're putting in place to help them, and are they aligned? Do we have a match between what we're looking at internally and what our objectives are and what our customers really need and want from us? Usually there's some misalignment there, and even just a little bit of tuning up can enable a lot of great things for our customers and for our organization. Organization can best create trusting relationships by listening first and foremost. To listen, we have to be out where our customers are. If we have call centers and self-service systems over here, and we've got a group of our customers and prospects and those they're interacting with over here in new emerging communities or channels, and we're not in this game, we're missing out. So we've got to be in the conversation. Then we've got to really listen. We've got to listen not just from a listening standpoint as we traditionally think of it, but do our systems help us listen? Do we know why our customers are interacting with us, what they want? Do we have the tools to capture what they're saying so that we can step back from it and really build better processes and services? So it's not something you can just wish to happen. You've got to have the processes, the tools, the planning in place, the initiative in place to really facilitate the kind of interactions that create trust. It's very interesting to look back and see how the view of customers has changed. You go back, and let's go back to the 90s. Customers, in many cases, were viewed as, well, customers that make transactions, right? They interact with us, they buy something, they need service. These are transactions. And then we begin to realize, there's more to it than that. If we do a good job, there's this thing called customer lifetime value in play. And they're going to continue to do business with us. There's market share opportunity in that. There's opportunity to serve them down the road. Then we begin to realize, there's a related principle taking shape here. They talk to others, so call it word of mouth. Back in the 90s, word of mouth was, you'd tell 5, 6, 7 others about your experience. As electronic communication began to come into play and widespread use, 5, 6, and 7 became 15, 16, 17 on average, but with the potential to reach millions. Today, with social channels and networks growing exponentially, there's this whole conversation taking place. We realize, our brand, the perception that people have, whether they're prospects or customers or interested or not so interested in who we are, our brand, our reputation's impacted by these conversations taking place. So we've got to be out there where our customers are. And it's a far different environment than the perspective we used to have of who customers are and how to serve them. The role of our team is really growing every day. They traditionally think of delivering service, of building, shaping, delivering services, building relationships with our customers. But there's a recognition in leading organizations that, this has got to be an organization-wide thing. It's not a department. It's not a specific group who are in charge of building customer relationships or putting services in place. So one of the roles that we're seeing in the best organizations is working across the company, across the organization, and with key suppliers, key partners outside the organization perhaps, so that everybody's got the same focus on serving customers and building relationships. There's a lot more cross-functional communication and planning and work going on today than there ever was. That's just the nature of the environment. CRM as a term and as it became understood in the business community really collapsed under its own weight. It started at, the core principles are terrific. They will always be with us. Knowing who our customers are, serving them, building relationships, that's got eternal staying power. The thing with CRM that happened is it became viewed as a set of technologies or a set of processes and an approach that's going to build relationships for us if we harness this capability. And what many organizations lost sight of is it's a cultural and organization-wide responsibility and opportunity. It's not a system. It's not a function. It's not a department. It's got to be an organization-wide responsibility. And with that, building customer relationships is there for the taking. I mean, that's what's really differentiating in the organizations that are building outstanding loyalty and are winning in their markets, market share and positive word of mouth and the things they're looking for. They don't view it as a program. They don't view it as a system. They view it as an organization-wide, central to their success opportunity. I think many organizations are beginning to wake up to the opportunity they have to create value, to build stronger relationships. If you look at just about any statistical analysis that's been done, surveys, research in this area, there's a direct connect between building customer relationships and creating value for the organization. Everybody wins. It's the sweet spot. The problem is the economy's been a distraction. Tough things that our organizations have been working through can be a distraction. And that's even more reason to focus on the things that matter, to focus on the things that have staying power. Building relationships will have staying power. You don't wish it to happen and see it happen. You've got to have an approach. You've got to have the big three: people, processes, technology, in place that are supporting these efforts and working for you. You don't just decide to do it and run out and do it. You've got to put a little thought and some resources, some tools in place to ensure that it happens. The return on these investments is astounding, but you've got to get started.